In the heart of Ohio, nestled between rolling hills and dense forests, stood the imposing structure of an abandoned prison. Whispers of its dark past echoed through the corridors, tales of unspeakable horrors that had unfolded within its cold gray walls. Despite the chilling reputation, Karen, a lady with a penchant for the paranormal, couldn't resist the allure of the haunted prison. She decided to embark on a chilling adventure with her 23-year-old daughter, Emily. Karen had lost her husband, Emily's father, 3 years ago in a tragic car accident, leaving her widowed with 2 loyal canine companions. As the mother-daughter duo entered the decaying prison, a shiver ran down their spines. The air inside was thick with the weight of the past, and the oppressive atmosphere clung to their skin like an invisible fog. They followed the tour guide, absorbing the chilling stories of the prison's gruesome history. As the group delved deeper into the bowels of the prison, Karen and Emily each began to notice fleeting shadows out of the corners of their eyes. Dismissing them as figments of their imagination, they pressed on, eager to unravel the mysteries that lay within. Night fell, casting the prison into an inky abyss. Karen and Emily decided to head back to Karen's home after the chilling tour, Emily not wanting to drive the 45 minutes home. Unbeknownst to them, the shadows that had danced at the edges of their vision during the tour had no intention of letting them escape. Back at Karen's house, after watching a little late-night television, the two settled into their respective rooms. Karen's room was dimly lit by a flickering lamp, and her 2 dogs, loyal companions named Max and Luna, nestled at her feet. Emily, in the adjacent room, lay restless, unable to shake off the unease that had settled in her bones. A couple of hours passed, and the oppressive silence was broken by a blood-curdling scream. Karen bolted upright, her heart pounding. Rushing to Emily's room, she found her daughter pale, eyes wide with terror. "I heard something move, Mom," Emily stammered, her voice trembling. "Something in the shadows." Karen hugged her and offered to let her stay in her room with her, but Emily declined. As the night wore on, a sense of dread settled over Karen's house. Laying on Karen's bed, Max and Luna began to growl, looking in the direction of the door. She rubbed their heads, comforting them and herself at the same time. She could see the hint of a shadow under the door. She gently called Emily, just loud enough that if she were at the door, she would be able to hear. There was no response. After a few minutes, Max and Luna seemed to relax a bit, continuing to watch the door. Days turned into a surreal blur as she grappled with inexplicable occurrences in the house. Objects moved of their own accord. Whispers echoed through the empty hallways, and a pervasive feeling of being watched haunted her every step. Max and Luna were even on edge. After a few days of this, Karen stopped at the shop a couple miles away as she was coming home one night. She picked up a couple bundles of white sage thanks to Emily's advice. Once home, she lit the sage and walked it around the house, saying the Lord's Prayer as she did. For a couple days, things seemed to calm down. One night, as Karen walked through the room, she witnessed a shadow person. Seeing the dark figure darting across the hallway, she became paralyzed with fear. As she was heading to bed that night, she called Max and Luna to come with her. After getting the bed ready, she realized the dogs weren't in bed. She called for them again as she walked out into the hallway to look for them. Very faintly, she heard a little whimper. Her breath caught in her throat as she realized the dogs were crying somewhere. But where? Holding her breath to hear better, she quietly walked up the hall listening for their cries. A few minutes later, she found them locked in the basement. That night, she made a life-altering decision. Karen decided to find a new residence instead of renewing her lease ending the following month. Unable to endure the constant torment and fearing for her and her dog's safety, she packed her belongings and bid farewell to the house that had become a crucible of fear. In their new home, the echoes of the haunted prison and the torment of their previous residence slowly faded into the recesses of memory. Yet, in the quiet moments of the night, Karen couldn't shake the feeling that the shadows were merely biding their time, waiting for the opportunity to emerge once more from the depths of the unknown. If you have dealt with supernatural occurrences, let us know in the comments. Thank you for watching, and remember to like and subscribe for future videos.